So we have fight, we have flight, we have freeze, we have faint. And then our final one that we're going to talk about is one that has existed. It's just that we didn't have language for it. And it's just now starting to get credibility being talked about. Right. This is actually a thing. We should be talking about this more. And that's the fifth stress response of fawning. So fawning, what does that mean? There is a very fascinating sort of blending in camouflage almost reaction that we can have when we are stressed. Our brain can actually go right to survive this scenario rather than fight it, rather than run away from it, rather than freeze up and hold still till it goes away or flop over and look dead so that the thing isn't interested and ideally goes away on its own. The fawning response says, blend in, be whatever you have to be to survive this. I'm going to say that again. Fawning is blend in, be, so not like the deer trying to hold still, be whatever you have to be to survive this experience. And for a lot of people starting to hear about, wait, that's a stress response. Oh, okay. Some light bulbs start to go on, some awareness starts to come to a place of, okay, that thing that I was doing, that person that I became, this thing that I am now that I am not happy with. I don't like who I am. I don't know, who I am anymore. This can have a lot of layers to it. So just if any of this is resonating with you, hold the phone like you've just said something. Grab your pen, grab your paper, just start writing, okay? Just make notes as we're talking here. Let whatever needs to come up, capture it so that you are able to return to it, reflect on it, talk to somebody about it, okay? So, fawning, let's give a couple of examples. If in your family culture there was heavy emphasis on you need to be an intellectual, the high grades, you need to, have a purpose in life. What is it that you're moving towards? And the only acceptable answers were maybe respected professions. You're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a doctor. And as a child, wanting to be safe and loved, like every single child on this planet wants to be, it felt like the only way to experience that safety and that love was to be the thing that you were being told was valued. Then all of a sudden, the person who really, really, really valued art, singing, who really, really, really valued, well, chemistry, but like a vein of chemistry that, parents didn't approve of. I want to learn about chemistry in this realm. Well, that's only like chemistry is only valid if you're a chemical engineer, but that's not what I want. I want it to be whatever it was. We can reshape ourselves and become the thing that we feel is needed because safety and love is critical to a child's ability, especially when you're tiny, good grief, to get food, to have shelter, to have loving affection, okay, to receive help for other problems. I have a problem somewhere else in my life. Well, this parent doesn't want to have anything to do with me because they're ashamed of me. Okay, how do I get help for this when I don't have an in with this person who could help me? And so becoming the thing that you needed to be, blending in order to survive this circumstance. Perhaps you took on a personality that that's not who I naturally am. You're being a lot more the party person, a lot more of the withdrawn person, a much more aggressive person, a much more, anything person that you just recognize that's not me. Then pay attention to that. It's entirely possible you recognized a threat and you entered a fawning state, becoming what you had to be to survive. Okay. Taking a look at other circumstances, we can see any number of times where survival really is, imminent. It's a critical threat. Somebody is saying, look, essentially, this is our territory. We run drugs in this area. You showed up here. You know too much. You are now part of this or you're dead. If you've got a knife to your throat, if you've got somebody saying they know where you live and they're going to make sure that you don't say anything about this, then you have this is your human version of man-eating tiger. Like my innards can become outered, so yeah, this is an immediate threat to my life. Who and what do I need to be to survive this? This is where we start to see people joining gangs that they wouldn't necessarily do that but became what I needed to be in order to not die or be injured or have my loved ones threatened. Um, if you have gotten involved in an activity of some kind, in a lifestyle of some kind, relationships of some kind, connections, networks, any number of things where you're going, this is not me and I don't want to be a part of this, but I don't know how to get out. A huge part of that breakthrough and finding your way forward, finding your way to freedom and being you and living the life that you recognize accurately reflects you and the life that you want to be living. A huge part of that really is actually recognizing I encountered a stress, I had a stress response, and I entered a fawning state. What's wrong with me? Nothing. Okay, we're going to keep circling back around to that. There's nothing wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong in going into that fawning state. It doesn't match your beliefs and your values. Okay, it was a mental health thing. You fawned to survive. Okay. So then recognizing that, being able to process that and unpack that a little bit can help you to reshape your responses and start identifying the very specific steps for working your way out of that fawning relationship that you have with other people, whatever it was you became, starting to bring that connection, that particular way of relating to those people to a close. Okay. So, for anybody who has had fear that this is what the rest of your life is going to look like, I'm going to offer encouragement that the world is a big place. Life has so many layers and nuances to it that if the solution to how to exit this fawning state and this fawning relationship that you're in isn't immediately clear, it's okay. You've already had the necessary breakthrough for recognizing what was going on, and that was the biggest thing that needed to happen to set you free. So, the other things, if you just stay open to, I want out of this, I'm going to start thinking about where I want to go. Then additional solutions and tools and people and conversations and books and insights and just all sorts of things can start to fall into place. So just congratulations for having had that important breakthrough light bulb moment here. Okay.